Have you ever wondered what the world's most expensive dog might look like? Not just a rare breed or a famous pedigree, but a dog so unbelievably valuable that billionaires competed just to own it? Today, we dive into the legendary story of Cadabomb, the dog said to be worth a jaw-dropping $5.7 million. This isn't just a story about a pet. It's a story about human obsession, ancient culture, extreme wealth, and the powerful symbolism that animals can carry across history. To understand how a single dog could ever reach a price tag that rivals luxury mansions, supercars, or even small private islands, we have to travel deep into the world of elite dog breeding, where rarity becomes status and status becomes currency. In this world, owning the right animal isn't just a luxury, it's a statement, a symbol of dominance, and sometimes a piece of living history. Cadabomb isn't just a dog, he is a legend born from that culture. Cadabomb belongs to one of the rarest and oldest lineages on Earth, the Tibetan Mastiff bloodline. For centuries, these massive dogs guarded ancient monasteries, Himalayan villages, and even members of royalty. They were believed to possess the spirit of a lion and the loyalty of a warrior. In ancient China, owning a pure Tibetan Mastiff was once a privilege reserved strictly for emperors. Some even believed the dogs carried protective spiritual energy. Over time, this mystique only grew, especially among modern-day millionaires who wanted a living symbol of power. But Cadabomb wasn't just any Tibetan Mastiff. According to breeders and collectors, he represented something extremely rare: perfect lineage purity. No crossbreeding, no modern genetic mixing, and no broken ancestral line. His heritage traced back through generations of carefully preserved Tibetan blood. In a market where authenticity defines price, Cadabomb's purity instantly placed him in a category of his own. When he first appeared at exclusive breeding showcases, insiders described him as the closest living match to ancient Mastiff royalty. Physically, Cadabomb looked like a creature pulled straight from mythology. He stood massive and muscular, weighing over 100 kilograms, with a towering frame, thick Himalayan fur, and the signature lion-like mane that made Tibetan Mastiffs world famous. But it wasn't just size, his color made him even more extraordinary. Breeders said his coat was an extremely rare deep golden red, sometimes called a fire coat, a shade historically associated with Tibetan warrior kings. A single glance was enough to show why people called him Cadabomb, a name chosen because his presence felt explosive, powerful, unforgettable. Buyers from China, the Middle East, and Europe immediately began competing for him. But this wasn't a public auction. It was a secretive, invitation-only circle of ultra-wealthy collectors. These were people who didn't just want a pet, they wanted a symbol. In their world, owning the rarest dog on Earth signaled prestige equal to owning a priceless work of art. Many of these collectors were already paying millions for horses, exotic cats, and rare birds. When Cadabomb's availability quietly leaked into their circles, the bidding began almost instantly. The first offer reportedly came from a Chinese real estate mogul known for purchasing rare mastiffs. He offered $2.1 million. Within hours, a Middle Eastern billionaire tripled the offer. Then, a European luxury magnate joined the race with a bid so high it stunned the breeders. But the real turning point came when a private buyer from Macau, who had previously spent millions on rare animals, made a staggering offer: $5.7 million for Cadabomb alone. It was an amount that left even veteran breeders speechless. But why would anyone spend $5.7 million on a dog? The answer lies in a mix of culture, economics, and genetics. First, Tibetan Mastiffs have long been considered status symbols among the wealthy elite in parts of China and Asia. Owning an exceptionally rare one signals power, success, and spiritual balance. Second, a dog like Cadabomb isn't just a pet, he's a breeding empire. One stud session from a dog of his lineage can bring tens of thousands of dollars. Over the course of several years, Cadabomb could generate millions in offspring value. Beyond that, there's the simple truth about ultra-wealthy collectors: they chase exclusivity. Owning something no one else can own is the ultimate expression of wealth. A one-of-a-kind dog with ancient lineage is far rarer than any sports car. Unlike luxury items that depreciate or can be replicated, Cadabomb is a living organism with a bloodline that cannot be recreated. That alone pushes his value into a realm most of us can barely imagine. The buyer who secured Cadabomb reportedly flew him to a private estate with specialized handlers, personal nutritionists, and a security team. Some sources say the dog lives better than most humans. Others claim Cadabomb receives custom meals prepared by chefs and sleeps in a climate-controlled suite designed to match Tibetan weather conditions. Whether all the rumors are true or exaggerated, one thing is clear. This dog became a global phenomenon overnight. But Cadabomb's story also sparked controversy. Animal rights groups questioned the ethics of attaching such extreme monetary value to a living creature. They argued that turning animals into luxury trophies contributes to harmful breeding practices and unrealistic expectations. Meanwhile, some Tibetan cultural leaders felt that the commercialization of their ancient Mastiff breeds diminished the dog's spiritual significance. The debate around Cadabomb became almost as famous as the dog himself. Still, supporters argue that Cadabomb's existence helps preserve the ancient Tibetan Mastiff bloodline. Without elite breeders investing in the lineage, the original genetic purity could have been lost forever. They claim that high-value dogs like Cadabomb help fund preservation programs, veterinary research, and the protection of authentic Tibetan breeds from extinction. Whether one agrees or disagrees, the impact Cadabomb had on the breeding world is undeniable. Interestingly, Cadabomb himself is known to have a surprisingly calm personality. Despite his giant physique and fierce appearance, handlers describe him as gentle, composed, and deeply loyal. Tibetan Mastiffs are naturally protective, but Cadabomb reportedly shows a reserved, almost regal demeanor. Footage from private showcases reveals him standing tall and still, scanning the environment with the quiet confidence of an ancient guardian. It's no wonder his presence felt explosive, not in aggression, but in unforgettable charisma. As Cadabomb grew older, his fame only expanded. His offspring, often sold for extraordinary prices, carried part of his legendary lineage. Even second-generation puppies connected to him could command massive sums, making Cadabomb one of the most economically influential dogs in history. Each pup was viewed not just as a pet, but as an investment, a legacy, and an extension of a priceless bloodline. Today, Cadabomb has become a symbol, one that represents the extreme intersection of culture, luxury, genetics, and human fascination. Whether you see him as a masterpiece of selective breeding, a cultural treasure, or simply an outrageously expensive dog, one thing is certain: his story captures the imagination. In a world where people buy supercars, private jets, and digital art for millions, Cadabomb stands out as something far more unique, because he is alive, breathing, and irreplaceable. His story raises an important question about value itself. What makes something worth millions? Is it rarity, lineage, symbolism? Or is value simply what someone is willing to pay? In Cadabomb's case, the answer seems to be a combination of all these factors. His heritage rooted in ancient tradition, his physical perfection, and the modern world's obsession with exclusivity all collided to create a perfect storm. A storm that resulted in one dog becoming more expensive than most people's life savings. Ultimately, Cadabomb isn't just a $5.7 million dog. He's a reflection of human desire, the desire to possess something rare, powerful, and meaningful. His story teaches us that value is often emotional, cultural, and symbolic. It's not always logical, but it is always fascinating. And whether you agree with the price or not, Cadabomb's legend shows just how far humans are willing to go when something captures their imagination. So the next time you see a cute puppy at the park, remember this. Somewhere in a private estate, a dog named Cadabomb is living a life of royal luxury, resting comfortably as the most expensive dog ever sold. His legacy continues, his value remains unmatched, and his story reminds us that in the world of the ultra-wealthy, even a dog can become a multi-million-dollar icon.